Good morning, everyone. I am still working from home, so the last time I vlogged was a week ago. Yeah, right around a week ago. And I had been working from home for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks at that time. And now this is my last week working from home, and then on Tuesday, I have to go back into the office. And to probably no one's surprise, I actually am dreading going back in now, even though I said that I prefer being in the office. Once I get used to working from home, I get very comfortable, and then I, realize I can get the same amount of work done. So I think it's kind of silly to have to go back, but that's just how it is. So yeah, just trying to enjoy it while I can. Jeez, what is wrong with my hair? I got back from my trip to LA on last Tuesday. Oh, so actually I vlogged like 2 weeks ago, not last week. So yeah, I was there from Thursday to Tuesday. That was super fun. I had a really, really great time. The weather was a little bit chilly, and I did not really pack accordingly for that because I assumed it would be like in the 70s, but it was kind of in the 60s and super windy, so it was a little chilly, but still way better than, what I have to deal with back here in Buffalo. So that was great. I'd never been over to California or anywhere on the West Coast, so it was really exciting to do that. And honestly, I have kind of been thinking lately since that trip, and a little bit before too, of maybe moving out there, not to LA specifically, but just somewhere new and different, somewhere with a better climate. Just because I'm still young, I don't have kids or anything, there's no reason for me to really stay here. If I, wanted to go out and do something else for a year or two, I could definitely do that. It would just be something that I have to really think hard about, and I think that I would regret it if I didn't do that. So in 1 year, I'm giving myself a year to kind of like get everything prepared, get my house done, all of that, to kind of like figure out where I'm going and if I'm going. But I think right now there's like an 80% chance that I will leave. And I want to still, I'm sorry, this is like totally all over the place, but there's just like a lot going on in my head too. But what I want to do is keep this house, keep renting out the upstairs, and then also just rent out the downstairs as well. So that would give me like a positive cash flow of a little over $10,000 a year. So that would be amazing to kind of like supplement my income. I would have to figure out a work situation where I could either work remotely or find a new job out there. That's something that I'm working on right now, just on my own. I don't really want to talk about it, but that's something to consider. Obviously the prices out there are like extraordinarily high compared to here. I'm very lucky that the cost of living in Buffalo is so low that I really don't have to like worry too much about money at all. So yeah, these are all considerations, and I think a year is a good amount of time for me to like get everything done here, at least like to the point where I can rent it out. And yeah, I mean, I think that would be very exciting. Yeah, I just want to get out of this weather because like the seasonal depression is definitely a thing. I mean, it doesn't really hit me like super hard or anything, but just the lack of sunlight and lack of warmth. You can't do anything outside for 6 months out of the year. It's very just draining. I just feel like it would be worth it for me to experience something else. I still want to probably live here, like once I have kids and do all of that stuff. This is a good place to, have a family. But for me as a 25-year-old now, I don't know. I've kind of run out of things that get me excited here. I don't really have any real reason to be here anymore except for work. So, something that I'm definitely thinking about. In other news, I am wearing my like painting clothes because I have been painting a lot. The last few days I've been working on like painting all my doors and everything, so I'll show you. It's a super mess right now. So here's my paint situation. I just have like a can of paint. It's messy, I know, but I painted this bathroom door finally. I think it looks way better white because it was that dark brown before. And I also painted the other side, of course. So yeah, I think that looks great. I have to paint the trim because it doesn't quite match. It's white, but it's a little bit darker of a white. So I'm gonna do that, but yeah, that's good. I also painted this hallway area finally, so the same like grayish color that's in the rest of the house right now. And then I'm working on painting this door and all of like the trim and this whole area. So, you know, I'm just trying to keep busy here. I'm gonna try and do this today too. I think I'm gonna attach this panel here because it's just ugly without the panel, and that's something I could just do in a little bit. Oh, and I also painted this door. So this door was this color before. This like ugly beige color. And then I just painted it white. I think this one is the most noticeably different. Well, probably the bathroom, but then maybe this one next. I have to clean up the edges and everything, so that's not done yet. But then I also did another coat on this door. This door needs so many coats because the brown just keeps peeking through. But it looks like I'm almost done. I might just have to do 1 or 2 more coats on this door. It's not perfect, of course, but I'm happy enough with it. I think it looks fine. So I'm just gonna go with it. So yeah, that was like my big thing that I'm currently thinking about very seriously, because I, you know, have thought about it before, but not in a way that I was actually going to do anything about it. It was more of like, oh, like it'd be cool if I moved or, you know, change something up, but now it's actually like I can do that, you know, if I want to. I think that yeah, that would be great. So I guess one of my new goals this year will be to start saving more for that purpose of moving, because if I were to move across the country, it would be expensive for sure. Sorry, I'm trying to find good lighting because this is horrible. Yeah, so I would have to move all my stuff, but I wouldn't move all my stuff. A lot of my furniture I would keep here, like in the basement as storage. And I was even considering like keeping one of these units vacant, and then I could like split time between here and wherever I go. But I don't know how like reasonable that is for me to do, or if that makes any sense like financially to do. So I'm probably gonna end up renting it out, but you know, we'll see. But this is like my child. I don't want to have someone else live here, but that's okay. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up, I did my makeup before I hopped on the camera, but my acne has been really horrible lately. Like you can see there's a pimple there. My forehead used to get a bunch of these like little bumps on it. Thankfully that's not back or anything, but my chin has been just horrible. Like this whole area, I thought maybe it was from like wearing masks and stuff, but I think it's because I went off of my birth control a few months back, and it's just been really, really flaring up horribly. Also my hair, every time I take a shower, there's like huge amounts of hair in the drain, which is slightly concerning to me because I mean, I do shed because I have a lot of hair, but not to that extent. So I unfortunately made the decision to get back on the pill. So it was like a good experiment, I guess, going off it for 4 months, which I know is not long enough for me to actually like see everything improve again, because my hormones were kind of out of whack. But that's not something that I really want to go through right now. You know, just the acne and everything, it really brings down my self-esteem. So I think that maybe I'll just stay on this for a few more years and then, you know, try it again. But yeah, luckily, I mean, you can probably see it still, but a lot of it's just redness and not as many active pimples, which is good. So when I cover it up, it doesn't look like I have really bumpy spots. You can definitely still see some, but this is like, I'm okay with this right now. So yeah, just a lot of stress, but good stress, I think, because there's a lot of opportunities and things that I'm considering now that I'm very lucky to be able to even consider moving or, making these big life changes. I'm super lucky to be able to be in that position to do that. But yeah, that's my quick little life update. I'll hop on here again today. On my last vlog, I remember I was supposed to get my hair done, and then there was that horrible snowstorm, so I couldn't even leave the driveway, and then I was stuck for half an hour in the middle of the road. But I rescheduled it for today, so after work at 5:30, I'm getting my hair cut since it is just too long now. So hopefully there's not another snowstorm that happens between now and then, but we are supposed to get a snowstorm tomorrow, Thursday, so I think we're supposed to get a foot of snow, which is not something that I'm looking forward to at all, but it's okay. That's just how it is living here. I'll just have to snow blow and shovel again tomorrow probably. But luckily I'm from home tomorrow, so I don't really have to do anything crazy. So yeah, my life has been kind of hectic. I say that in every video though, that there's so much going on, blah blah blah, making excuses. So I'm trying to not do that as much, since I realize it is just me making excuses. But yeah, just a lot of things that I hadn't considered in the past so much that I'm considering now that I'm in a position where I can move. So something for me to consider for sure a little bit more. I'd love to know what you think below. But I really did enjoy my time in Joshua Tree, Palm Springs, and LA. And I was looking at those as options to maybe move to one of those places, but I wouldn't move to Joshua Tree area because there's nothing there. But Palm Springs was super nice. I really enjoyed it there, but then when I looked up what the climate is in the summertime, the fact it can get up to 120 and even 130 degrees is not something that I can handle. Also, if I'm in the sun for that long, with it being that intense, I'm just gonna burn to a crisp because I don't even tan to begin with. So that's not an option now. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking about moving out to the West Coast, and that is something that I used to want to do in high school. I really wanted to go to USC or UCLA and live out there for a bit, but the cost of doing all that, my parents were not well off by any means, so that was not something that was gonna be viable at all at the time, since I had to pay for all of my education by myself and I didn't have any help with that. So I'm very glad I didn't do that because I would be in so much debt. But now I'm 25. I think that it's a good time for me to maybe make a change, especially now that I've got a somewhat decent income and I'm pretty independent right now. I don't have that many responsibilities as far as kids or anything like that. So I think that if I were to move, it would be a very good change for me. The biggest thing holding me back at the moment is, well, I guess there's two things. So there's the fact that my house is not done, and also my job, since my job is basically after this week is going to be in the office full time forever. It seems very not flexible at all. So I have to consider a lot of things, and I already am, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Yeah, it's I am planning this out to be a year from now. So say around February or January of 2023 would be when I would look to actually make the change. So I have a year to save up, to plan everything, to make sure it goes smoothly. All of that stuff I think is a good amount of time. I would not be able to do this in 6 months. I think that is not reasonable. And I also want to be here during the summer because the summers here are actually nice. And yeah, so I've narrowed it down to 5 places that I would move to. I'm pretty sure I would be happy in any of these places, especially if it's just for a year or 2, maybe 3. But I think I also have a top 2 from that. So I'll just tell you my list. They're not in any order, except the top 2 are kind of interchangeable. So the first option is Henderson, Nevada. That was on the top of my list for a little bit, and now it's not. Henderson is a suburb of Vegas. I think it's 20-30 minutes south of Vegas, and it's very decently low cost of living, no state income tax, a lot of benefits as far as financially, it seems and it's also, I think it was ranked number 2, the second safest city in America. So that was all good.
The only reason why it's not at the top of my list anymore is because it seems like there's not too much to do there. Like it's a good place to raise a family and like settle down, which is not really what I'm looking to do right now. But yeah, that's still definitely on my list. I have to decide like what type of lifestyle I would want to have, if I'm comfortable living in like a tiny studio apartment or if I want something more. There's a lot that goes into it, but that's on my list. Next is Seattle. Seattle has been a place that I've always wanted to go. I've never been there. I've never been to any of these places actually, and it just looks like a very nice place to be. The climate's a lot milder than it is here. It still definitely gets cold, and I know there's a lot of rain and stuff, but a huge change from Buffalo. That's on my list. I also have Long Beach on there. Long Beach is not, I'm not like set on Long Beach. It's more like somewhere a little outside of LA. Yeah, I don't know my California geography that well, but one of those areas, you know. Still super pricey because I don't want to be like right in the city center because it seems not that safe, super expensive, just a lot of factors into that. So living a little outside sounds nice. I'm sure it's still, you know, got its issues, but that's an option for me. Another one. Wait, so that was 3. So then my 2 big ones. First one's San Francisco. San Francisco is one of, if not the most expensive place in this country to live in, but it seems very beautiful there. The weather is like perfect. I love a good like 60-degree day. That sounds nice. You're near a lot of like hiking and outdoor stuff, which is also something that I'm looking for. I want to do things outdoors more since I grew up not doing anything outdoors because of where I live, except in the summertime. So that's on my list for sure. And that is tied up right now with San Diego. And San Diego is another place that I have not been to. From what I've read, it is cheaper than San Francisco, but still expensive overall. San Diego seems super nice. Definitely warmer than San Francisco, but still like kind of mild. It seems like it doesn't really get into like the 100-degree days like someplace like Palm Springs would. So those are on my list at the moment. I am planning to go back to California maybe at the end of February to the beginning of March, like so for that week. I think it's the 26th to the 5th or something like that. I'm looking into it. I think I can get the time off, so like that's not an issue. It's more if I can like afford to do that right now. And what would be cool, I think, would be to fly into San Diego and then stay there for like 2 nights and then drive up to San Francisco because it's an 8.5-hour car ride from what I've looked up, and then hang out in San Francisco a little bit, and then maybe check out like Yosemite National Park because that's a place that I would love to visit, and then go home from there. So that would be kind of an insane week, I think, but I need to see these places before I actually pull the trigger on anything. Not that I really need to do anything yet because it's a year from now, but I would like to have like a solid plan because I'm not the type of person that can just like, I'm just not like a very in the moment, like make decisions quickly sort of person. Like I like having a plan and having everything like all my ducks in a row sort of person. So that is what I would love to do. Now that I'm 25, renting a car is not an issue. It actually wasn't an issue when I was there last time either, because I guess with the car insurance I have, which is USAA, it waives the underage driver fee, so I saved a few $100 there. So in case any of you are under the age of 25 and have USAA insurance, you can get a fee waiver. So that was awesome. So I had a very good time, needless to say, on that trip. Yeah, that was my little chat with you all. I would love to know what you think about that plan that I have right now. But I've been really trying to get back into the swing of things with getting this house done because I've been super just like lazy as far as finishing this because, you know, it's like perfectly livable right now and I just didn't feel like doing any like hard labor. So, but I'm back to doing that. And it feels good. It feels good to like even just painting the door. That's something that's done that I constantly think about how I have to do that and now I don't and stuff like that. So that was my, I think that's it. I've been talking for a long time, so I'm probably just gonna let you go now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working on the house stuff today. I might check in, I might not. And then I have my hair appointment. So yeah, lots going on. I'm excited, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.